Wow, welcome today. And we are just diving into oh my goodness, we're just diving into another piano library today. I thought I would just start off and just have some fun. So today we're taking a look at Production Grand 2 and from Production Voices. I found out about Production Voices again by some other viewers, and it's just always great to get suggestions for different libraries. And when I looked into the piano libraries, I just need to just catch my breath here. So one of the things that stood out when I first explored the Production Voices piano libraries is that their signal quality, the attention to getting the best quality samples, and even to the point of offering some of their larger libraries in 24-bit 96K, which I had never seen a library at that sample rate before. And so it immediately got me interested. And so I just reached out, and I'm able to just go through Production Grand 2, and this is the LE version, so it's like around 22 gigs, but you have just a ton of things, and we're going to dive in. So while we're live, just go ahead and just send questions, or just chat, super chats, different things. So just let's just dive right into this. So I'm just so glad to be here. This is again, this is Simeon from PraiseTracks.com. And if it's your first time here, just go ahead and subscribe while we're here. And so we just keep this rolling. I am just so amazed at all of the piano libraries that we've been able to review, that I've been able to review. And a lot of it's because of suggestions from you, and the graciousness of a lot of the developers out there have allowed me to just experience the pianos for myself and then share them with you. So let's dive into Production Voices Production Grand 2. So it's a Kontakt library, and you need the full version of Kontakt, and it comes in a single NKI that you can load in, but it has all of the controls. What I love, let's just look at some of the presets just to start out with, and we'll just start with the default Production Grand. And this is a Yamaha C7. That's why I love using the C7s in like the track I open with, because it's just got that cut through and that pop and that punch that you need. And then of course I'm going to try to mute the mic in between, but this is just their default Production Grand patch. And you hear just that sparkle and that bite and that life in that C7. And they recorded it in a very state-of-the-art studio. I think it was up in Toronto, Ontario. And they used the best possible analog to digital converters. So they just really spared no expense at getting the signal chain just the highest quality that they could get. So we're just going to play through some of these and just enjoy this beautiful piano together. The main screen, the standout feature on the main screen is the 8 different microphone positions, and I have the inside mic, and then an outside mic, and then you turn up this little icon, and it tells you exactly what the mics are. You've got some pencil mics over the hammers. You've got some condensers inside, and you can kind of see the placement. You have some mics outside, ribbon mics, and some tube mics in the room. And so I'm going to go through some of the different room mics and the mic settings, but you can just hear how that rings out very nice. So it's just very playable. It's just got that really nice life to it that really cuts through a mix. So let's go to the to another preset, Modern Inside now, and you're going to see, wow. So they've turned all the mics on here. And the beauty of this is that even though you have all the mics turned on like this, if you have the volume turned all the way down, it sort of kind of takes them out of the picture. They're still loaded, but you're not hitting the CPU very hard. So that's very nice. That's just using mainly the inside mic. So that gives you a nice close sound. Now let's go to the next settings is where you can set up the sympathetic resonance. The sympathetic resonance is sampled. They actually went through and sampled that, so you can have control over that. And then you have different settings. If you have a continuous controller pedal, that will respond to how that sympathetic resonance works. You have 3 lid positions, and those are sort of simulated. So let me let you hear that. So that's open, and then this is a little duller, and then closed. So it sort of dampens the sound a little bit when you have it closed. And then when you have it open, you just hear that sound open right up again. And then they've actually given you the actual noise from just the mic noise. One of the things I noticed is they want to give you all of the little extra sounds to control to just bring the piano to life, just to make it as realistic as possible. So for each of the microphones, you have a complementary, I guess they would call it a room tone or a mic tone noise, and that's just the signal, which is cool. You have the velocity curve setting, and here again you see that I have it with that nice little slope to help me get the most out of my Studio Logic SL88 controller, so I can just kind of play it real soft. And it responds, and then I can just really hit it. So it just responds very nicely to that. Then you can have adjustments for the overall sensitivity, the overall dynamic range, and in the manual it says that most of the time you're going to have that around 80 to 85%, and I found that to be true. It just gives me just that nice balance. Now the next tab, okay, so here you have, this is still in the settings. You have volume controls for the release noises, the key up noises, and pedal noises. So you can kind of tweak those. If you're just doing like a solo type of recording, then those little pedal up, key up noises, release noises, they really add a lot to the overall dimension and feeling of the piano. But one of the things that they say is that you don't necessarily want all of those noises going on if you're in a dense mix, because it just kind of would take over. And then plus you're using extra voices and extra CPU. So if it's a real instrumentally dense project, you might back off or not even use a lot of those extra noise samples. Now, what I really love about this piano is the mixer section, because here you have control over all 8 microphones. Each microphone has its own EQ and compressor. You have control over how much reverb is sent And so, you know, why don't we do this? Let me just go ahead and just turn up each microphone and we can kind of hear what each microphone sounds like. Now, this is just right over the hammers, just a pair of pencil condensers. So let's take a listen. So with those pointed at the hammers, you get that full attack. And so you can mix those in to give you that extra cut, that extra bite. So that's cool. So let's go to the next one. And this is the thing that I love. If you have it all the way down, it sort of takes it out. So you don't have to worry about turning the mics on and off. And let me just see what, okay, so with all of the mics loaded, I'm looking at like a little bit over 7 gigabytes, and I've got 64 gigs of RAM in this system. So with this particular preset loaded, with all the mics turned on, I'm just a little over 7 gigs, and the entire library is around 22 gigs, but that's compressed, but it's equivalent to 77 gigs of samples. So this is the inside mic, and see, that's very nice. You hear how nice that is? And right there, and what I love is this down here. When you get down here, you hear that rich. And that is just with that inside pair turned on. Okay, so now let's turn these up, and let's go see. So this is another inside. So this is inside. Yeah, so these are inside the piano here, and you sort of see those right there. So let's take a listen to these. And I love the mic choices. They're using some very, very high quality Neumann and AKG C414s and some beautiful ribbon mics and even some, yeah, listen how nice that is. And this is without any reverb. So I'm trying to just let you hear just the pure sound of these microphones. And here and there again, you hear that warmth down there. And these are some outside microphones. I love having the ability to mix all of these different mic positions, and he's put everything right here in this mixer page. And having different types of microphones, tubes and condensers, different sizes, it allows you to just kind of color, mix, and blend all of these different colors together. Oh man. Okay, and here's the player. Now the player microphone is based on the binaural microphone that you can just it just kind of puts you right behind the piano. So this is kind of cool. So it's just like you're sitting right there in front of this piano here, the C7. All right, cool. And thanks for joining me today. And yeah, let me know how things are going out there. And again, if you have any questions. You also have in the mixer section the ability to selectively turn off left and right channels. So if you want to do some kind of a combination of lefts from one microphone section and the rights of another microphone section, you have that flexibility. You can also, let's see, oh yeah, this is the room. So you can inverse the pan, so you can take the pan and just kind of flip it. Flip the perspective. We'll flip it again. Yeah. So when you flip it, it'll illuminate to let you know that you've flipped that perspective. Yeah. I really love the sound of this. Once you get the keyboard response set, and it just, that is the most critical thing I think to start off with, is to get your keyboard controller and the velocity sensitivity settings of any piano library set to where it just feels natural when you play, so you're not forcing things and you can get that full dynamic range out of it. Now this is what I love. This is like the, I think it's like the tube, and then you've got the ribbon. You've got some ribbon microphones here. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to those. Yeah, just silky. Just very beautiful. And last but not least, you have a PZM, a crown PZM under the piano, and it's just, let's just take a listen. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. It just gives you a totally different perspective. Okay, so that's really cool. You have master effects, you have tape saturation, EQ, transient designers, compression, and a limiter, and then, just the master reverb here. So I love the way that everything is just sort of laid out, and you're giving the control of all of these different parameters here. that just make it so easy to get to. One of the things that I just discovered, just learned how to use, is the snapshot feature. And if you're not using the snapshot feature, I just want to show you real quick how that works. So let's say you find just a really beautiful sound, and we're just going to kind of do some things at random. And yeah, we're just going to turn some of these things. So you've kind of played with the parameters a little bit, and you want to capture that. You want to save that. So what you do, you have the info icon and then the camera icon. So when you click on the camera icon, that enables the snapshots. And so if you like what you hear right now, you just hit that snapshot button, and then you go and hit the disc icon, and then you give it a name. And we'll just do production grand test and save it. And now when you're in this snapshot mode, you just go and drop it down, and there you have all of the snapshots that you have. So that's a great feature that I just discovered. So it's just like right there. It's a great way to customize your own presets and save those using the snapshot. So you go to snapshot view, make sure you've got everything set. You hit the disk, and even if you have a snapshot and you tweak a little bit more, you can overwrite that. And so instead of having to save a new preset. So let's go back through some of the production grand presets that they've given us. Vintage inside. So vintage inside, I'm thinking, yeah, so we've got a little stuff going on here, and let's just take a listen. That's nice. And so it's, using that inside mic. Let's go to another one at the piano. Now at the piano, it's going to use, the player mic. And the thing now is Production Voices is running a 60% off of all of their libraries. So they're very, very high quality sample libraries, and you can get them for 60% off during this time. I think it's until the end of June. So now would be a good time to take advantage of that. So the mixer, okay, so let's see what preset we got. Just Enough Room. So Just Enough Room has the player microphone and then the room microphone engaged. So let's listen. So that's what I really like about this library is the microphone selections that you have, and the ease of going right to this mixer tab and just setting up everything, just boom, right there. So let's just look at a couple more. Okay, dream sequence. So let's take a listen to that. So we've got a little player, a little room, and we've got some reverb going on, some saturation. Okay. Just a very nice cinematic style. So you can get some very nice textures out of this piano. So clear and articulate. So you have the hammer mic outside and the room mics engaged here. And you see how they're just blended in together a little bit. Yeah, so there it is. That bite. And you can hear the room, the studio, you know, it doesn't have a whole lot of decay, so it gives you opportunity to really, it gives you really a good opportunity to add, you know, whatever convolution reverbs that you have, and to just get it to sit really good in the mix. I think a lot of times if the piano has too much room, sometimes it makes it hard to sit in a mix sometimes, but this is very nice and dry. Yeah, you just hear that attack and that natural ringing of the piano, which is very nice. So just go through a couple more. Recital hall. Again, you have the room mics there to give you that nice feel. Yeah, it kind of makes it sound a little distant. So, okay. So this is a warm pop piano. You got a little bit of the hammer mics. Yeah, I just can't overemphasize the importance of being able to have all of these mics to choose from. So there's a lot of power in this library. Okay. So again, if you've got any questions, just jump right in on the chat and just let me know if there's anything that you'd like to take a look at. Man, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of wrap things up in a way so we can kind of take a look at this. So this is a preset that I kind of put together using a lot of the room mics and yeah, the outside mic and then a couple of the room mics. Yeah. And each mic has its own send to the reverb. So you can, you've got a master send. And I just have fallen in love with these, the tube mics and the ribbon mics, because it's just so smooth. Yeah. Very cool. Very nice. You know, I think Production Voices have done a great job at bringing the C7 in just very crystal clear, beautiful, this beautiful package. Just giving the mic selections alone, the mic positions alone are really impressive, because you have just all of those different possibilities. You know, if you've just got one set of mics, you know, it's hard to sometimes fit a piano into different types of songs, different mixes, different projects. Having all of these different mics, positions to choose from, and the flexibility they give you, this piano can just fit in a lot of different places. So. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. And again, this is Simeon from PraiseTracks.com. And we're just going to keep rolling with these piano libraries. You know, we're just going to keep going and keep doing all sorts of different things. And so you want to make sure that you subscribe and click on those notifications, because you just want to stay up to date on what's going on in the next libraries. We're going to do keep doing a lot of things, just a lot of wonderful things. And if you have any suggestions, man, please leave them in the comments below. And I just really, once again, thank you for joining me today. It's been a really fun time exploring Production Voices, Production Grand 2 LE. So thanks again for watching, and we'll just see you real soon.